Hi there. As a matchmaker, I would say you have many opportunities to approach women from different races. And when I read your email, I understand that you have concern about how people around you nowadays tend to marry Asian women. Now, let me ask you, have you ever heard of yellow fever? And no, I'm not talking about the disease you can pick up when traveling to certain countries. I'm talking about when Caucasian men develop an acute sexual preference for Asian women, even becoming a fetish for some. These two afflictions spread for the same target, but mosquito are interested in women like me for simple chemical reason. Men don't have that excuse. A few months ago, an alarming survey suggests that yellow fever is more widespread than previous suspect. Crucially, the survey did not refer to mosquito, but to straight men buzzing a dating site, which dedicates to serving those men whose craving for Asian women a desirable partner. Why? Who knows? Would you be surprised to know that Caucasian men dating Asian women makes up more than 75% of the interracial dating scene? In Tyra Banks' show, one of the guests said that his Asian girlfriend is quiet in public, and behind closed doors, she's more adventurous.
They're more reserved in public, and behind closed doors, they're just more adventurous. The Caucasian women that I've been with in the past, less adventurous at home.
And you mean in the bedroom?
Yes.
The other Caucasian male believes that Asian women are the perfect trophy wives because they are sweet, innocent, submissive, and obedient. Yu Ran, who's living in the UK, said she heard her Caucasian friends recommend to their male single mate that they should date nice Asian girl, with added bonus that Asian women are far more sexually open-minded than Caucasian girls. From the point of view of an Asian man, Michael thinks that these men who have Asian feel should treat Asian women with more respect. He understands that they are seeing Asian women with three eyes: ignorance, insecurity, and immaturity.
I guess it's a little bit more to being pretty and submissive to Asian women. I think they need to be treated with more respect. I think these men are seeing these women in different eyes. In my eyes, I have three eyes: ignorance, insecurities, and immaturity.
Anna Akana, an Asian American, gets to the roots of the real problem with yellow fever. Men who hang around chasing women in Asia are just creepy losers that can't find a girl back home.
Men with yellow fever look at you and they only see schoolgirls or sexual geishas. They hide samurai sword collections in their closet, and they learn how to speak an Asian language and only talk to you in that friggin' language. Stop it. These men, the problem with them is that they don't give a fuck about who you really are. The idea of you is enough. I don't understand why you would romanticize an entire race as being submissive or weak or docile or delicate or fragile or whatever the fuck is the allure of Asian women. But yellow fever is when the only prerequisite for me to become your potential partner is the color of my skin. That's cheap. That's offensive. You're an asshole. Go away.
And from all of her experience dating Caucasian male, Lawrence Marsh said that I still feel like I have been objectified, exotified, and hypersexualized because of my race, and sometimes I have trouble trusting people who find me attractive because of that. It's true that independence and power is valued more highly in Western culture, whereas Eastern values traditionally emphasize community and social harmony. This may influence the behavior traits of some Asian women. Men sometimes take this to feel emasculate and in their interaction and perception of Asian women because they can experience feelings of dominance, power, and wealth, especially in Asia, whereas some women cater to these fantasies for personal gain or associate with Western men as a status symbol. Some of the Asian women prefer to date Western men extend beyond perceived social status or physical attraction. Asian women may prefer pairing with Western men because they feel like they are treated more as an equal and enjoy greater independence in a relationship. There is another prospect to consider. Asian men in Western media have their unfortunate tendency to depict as being nerdy, feminine, comical, and shy. As a fourth-generation Asian American filmmaker, Debbie Lum made a documentary named Seeking Asian Female, which is a modern love story of Steven, a 60-year-old white man with yellow fever who is upset with marrying any Asian woman. He found Sandy online, a Chinese woman in her 30s. Now, a woman in her 30s in Western culture is still determined as young, white, and free. However, in China, women consider themselves as leftover at the age of 25.
In China is leftover women, big difference. It refers to women who are considered by Chinese standards to be too old to marry.
Chip Reed is in Beijing, where attention to these women is suddenly growing. Chip, good morning.
Well, good morning to you. You know, in many parts of the world, there have long been discussions over the appropriate age to get married. But what's surprising here in China is that a woman can find herself labeled a leftover woman as young as 25.
China, where single women over 30 and even in their mid to late 20s can find themselves branded as leftover women.
When they go to work, people call them leftovers to their face.
Chen says these women are trapped between the present and thousands of years of Chinese history.
So 31 and not married, you're over the hill.
Is like a complete travesty, you know, and these women are just women who've been playing by the rules, achieving as they've been taught to achieve since they were little, you know, getting great grades, going off to great schools, getting great jobs.
Then in their mid-20s, Chen says, the rules change.
And then suddenly it's like, bam-o wham, no, don't achieve. You don't want to scare the boys, you know, slow down and jump back into your traditional roles as a wife and a mother.
The problem is, that's not easy. Catherine Zhou spent her 20s and early 30s working on her career. Now 35, she says she can't get a date, much less a husband. Chinese men, she says, want younger, more subservient wives. Which means she feels constant pressure from her mother, who says at this point she'd be happy if Catherine married a frog.
There are schools all around the country, and certainly most schools are supported by the government, but it's really, I think, an effort that's being led locally to try to teach women what they need to do. In fact, there's a course in Shanghai that's called Leftover Women Rescue.
This is one of the main reasons why Sandy agreed to go with Steven to the state, even though she barely knows him. After her marriage, Sandy was so disappointed because he was too poor that he could not afford to buy her a wedding ring or make her a proper wedding, and he had to ask his brother to pay for that. However, she did not dare to go back to China because to her it is a big shame. When she left, she was really proud because she's going to marry an American. She said if she came back, people would talk behind her back and she would not able to lift her head in public.